Hello and welcome to episode 96 of Dorki's Entropia Universe report. Today's episode covers my adventures on Next Island, avatar progress and investment returns for the week from March 29th to April 5th, 2021. I will use one of my mining runs from Next Island as background footage, but do not worry, I will not subject you to the entire thing. Instead, I will just cut it off once I run out of stuff to talk about. I suspect that will happen long before I run out of that mining footage, even when I chop it down to only drops that actually found something. That being said, I will spend most of today's episode talking about my activities on Next Island and plans for the near future that also involve Next Island and ancient Greece. So let's get into the Entropia Universe stuff proper now. I am sure all of you are familiar with how some movies and TV series episodes start by showing you the end of the story and then return to the past to show you how it all started. I quite dislike that way of telling the story. It robs me of interest in watching the whole thing, but I will do the same now and start with what I did for the last few days of the week before I return to the more fun stuff I did earlier on. To be blunt, I spent my weekend sweating a bunch of solarium-addicted overgrown gym bros in ancient Greece. I thought it would be a great way of providing sweat for my daily Lesser Elysia crafting mission. I am too cheap to buy that sweat and it was a simple plan. Come to their all-natural gym, leave some empty bottles around on the floor and collect the sweat like rainwater until I have enough for my crafting mission. Oh boy, was I wrong. I must say that the Cyclops description from the Codex is misleading at best. It says they are misunderstood gentle giants, peaceful unless provoked. All I did was put an empty bottle in front of one of them. He looked like he was working out with a huge tree trunk, but it turns out it was a weapon, a giant wooden club. And how did Dorki find out, you may ask? Well, I got my face caved in with it. Actually, my face got hit so hard, it traveled all the way down through my asshole and deep inside the ground I was standing on. Nevertheless, I did what any self-respecting El Cheapo would do, and I came back from the dead with modified plan to get their valuable workout byproduct. And I spent days getting thousands of bottles ready for my future daily missions. So now that you know how my week ended, I can go over other activities I did earlier on in the week. The whole sweating escapade was caused by the simple fact that I was doing the multi-faction daily missions for the clothing blueprints and belfry hat that I want to craft myself rather than trying to sell off those blueprints. It's like 100 pieces of Lesser Elysia. At that point I realized that Lesser Elysia has a crafting daily mission with nice skill reward. Although, to be honest, it took me a few days before that realization actually dawned on me. As you all probably know by now, I can be a bit slow at times. Either way, I started by finding a small mob I could hunt with the TT weapon, and that also drops some of the materials needed for the belfry head blueprint. Akelos, the minotaur-looking dudes, drop small amounts of animal hides and cat's eye crystals. It takes ages to collect the amounts needed, especially for the animal hides though. I think I got like 90 pieces of those in 12 hours of hunting. However, I am sure there are mobs upstairs on Next Island that drop a lot more of them. So I do not mind, and one of my main reasons for hunting those bull-headed dudes was to collect the cat's eye crystals. One more week of hunting those and I should have enough crystals for 15 to 20 clicks on the belfry head. It is a long time, but I like hunting them. However, I will not go into more detail here since I plan to turn my Minotaur hunting exploits into a separate video later down the line. Actually, same goes for the belfry head craft as well. Once I find some mob that drops aragonite crystal and gather enough of each material for those 20 clicks or maybe a bit more, I will craft through my stash of blueprints and see how many hats I can make for a little crafting video. I like the look of that hat and am looking forward to having one in my wardrobe. It will make a nice addition to all the freebies and mission rewards that I keep around in my storage. And once in a while, when my current outfit gets a bit too soaked with sweat and cheap beer, I will put it on and run around all the local settlements wearing nothing but mankini and that belfry hat. The downside of my plan is that it will probably take a couple weeks, if not longer, to collect all the materials I will need for my craft. The upside is I will get some nice skill from the daily Lesser Elysia mission, progress in my sweat gatherer profession, lots of fun watching movies while I hunt mobs for materials, and of course a nice hat to top it all off. Of course that will only be the case if I do not end up with 20 fails and near successes. Perhaps I shall reconsider my plan later down the line and aim for more clicks instead. But of course the timeline will get pushed back a lot if I do decide to aim for more clicks. By the way, another great benefit of this plan is that it will give me something nice to focus on and to strive towards here on the next island. I plan to stay here for a long time now and focus on making videos for the community event to hopefully qualify for the rewards and get that lovely armor set. Right now, as I am writing this commentary, the results for the March are yet unknown. So I do not know if my last few videos managed to qualify for points and whether or not I will get that first armor piece. However, I saw some talk in the Next Island chat channel about those pieces being tradable. So in the worst case, if I miss out on 1 or 2 pieces, I will try to buy them to complete the set. But I do hope that will not be necessary. One thing is certain though, and that is that I will not make the same mistake again. From now on, I shall keep publishing my Next Island focused videos throughout the entire month, rather than wait until the second half of the month and publish them clustered together. I thought I would start publishing the last batch over the last 2 weeks of the month, and that strategy would provide enough time for all of those videos to gather 100 plus views. But then the real life and that asshole named Murphy intervened, and I had no time and opportunity to make those videos until the last weekend before the deadline. And while they all managed to crawl over the 100 views eventually, I am not sure whether it happened before they got reviewed for the event or not. Let's hope they did and that I will get points for all of them. Anyway, let's move on to the Deeds&Shares payouts for the week. I will go over my mining for the week later in the conclusion of today's episode. Anyway, let's start this segment by saying a few words about the Arcadia Moon Deeds. I could not find any official word on why they were not paying at all for such a long time. However, a payment of 11 PEC came in on April Fool's Day. So I guess it was a bug and all that collected revenue got paid out after it got fixed. At least I hope that was the case, since my paranoid mind can conjure up a second reason for it, and I really hope that was not the case. Also, I am quite confident that this was not the case, but it would really suck if it was a giant April Fool's Day joke that was in the works from all the way back in February. Either way, it was quite a weird coincidence that all that back revenue got paid out on April 1st. One would expect that whole mess to get fixed sooner. Anyway, it seems that they are back to their usual self now, since there was one more payout of 1 PEC on April 4th. Either way, when it comes to shares, Crystal Palace shares provided revenue of 1 PEC per share this Monday, and they are selling at about 1845 to 1850 at the moment. Of course, the prices may fluctuate throughout the week, so those stacks might be already sold out and replaced by cheaper or more expensive ones, by the time you are watching this video. Ancient Greece shares made a payout this week as well. They provided revenue of 1 peg and their price keeps slightly under the original 10 pence per share. To conclude, this week was split between chill activities and the stress of not knowing whether my entries will qualify for the event and provide enough points to win the first piece of the Ascension armor set. I did not get much progress in my total skills, only about 90 skill points in total. But I did have fun hunting minotaurs in ancient Greece for some of the materials I need for belfry head craft and also mining upstairs on next island. As you could have seen in today's video, I even got an unnamed global of crude oil. Actually, I made enough profit from this mining run to cover the loss from my previous 2 mining runs that I published here on the channel earlier. By the way, I started this mining run looking for plutonium, and I all but gave up on any hopes of finding it about halfway throughout my run. But luckily Sturge told me where to go look and I actually found some there. He made a great video about this particular daily mission and finding plutonium fairly recently, and I will link it down in the video description and a pinned comment. Just in case there are some among you who have not seen Sturge's video yet and need help with the plutonium daily mission. Anyway, I have rambled on for long enough. It is time to end today's episode before I do run out of that mining footage. I know I said I was unlikely to do so, but I did end up writing a much longer script than I originally anticipated. So thank you for watching. I wish you all a happy Easter, good health as well as good loot for the weeks to come. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel before you leave here. Thank you.